Hey there, guys, welcome back to the DS Sports Podcast. I'm Craig Patterson as always, and we're back for another episode. And as always, we're joined by Sean Davidson, Cammy Hall, and Don Eisner.
I'm a last.
Yeah, you're last this time.
I'm the first start.
Right, as always, guys, we're back and we've got some fresh topics to talk about before we go on to them and we elaborate on them. Gentlemen, how are we? It's Saturday evening and got some Bundesliga on the television. Not long to go left the Dortmund game at the moment. But how are we all doing, gents?
Still 1-0.
Still 1-0, yeah. 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, we're all fine. Well, I'm
All
fine.
good, mate. Back to work this week. Big week been, so it's been
That's sweet, yeah.
I'm on a 2-week holiday from the co-op, currently earning 100,
Fantastic.
150 holiday pay. I'm raking it in.
Excellent stuff.
It's like the dough.
I'd like to say that I'm very upset this week.
Okay.
Good, mate. Good.
Would you wish to expand?
After Hearts, after all the attempts in the world at reconstruction, the SPFL are still no reconstructing. So we'll see you in court, boys.
Well, we'll come on to that in a sec. We've got a couple of those plans that we'll briefly touch upon. We've talked reconstruction to death on a previous episode, so we'll briefly go. Actually, we'll come across it now. Over the last week, there have been a couple of fresh proposals one by Anne Budge, the Hearts chairwoman, and by the Rangers Football Club as well, which is probably the most farcical thing I think I've ever seen.
Oh, that's very opinionated from the host there.
The Rangers LTD 2012.
But so elaborate on that one. So 14 proposed by Hearts has officially been declined and rejected after 6 League One and League Two clubs publicly stated they would vote against it.
Forfar v Hearts here.
One of them is Forfar Athletic. They came out on Facebook a couple of days ago.
Can't wait for you to go to liquidate. I honestly will be at Station Park waving my Rambo flag while your club dies.
Don't
I can't wait for your stadium to get turned into flats, mate, because your club is dead.
You're messing with forces much greater than yourself, Cammy Hall. Don't you start that.
It's because we're a bigger club, mate. Your club's pish.
So that one has died, and then obviously the one that I've got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about is the 14-14-18 proposed by Rangers, which includes Rangers and Celtic B teams in the third tier of Scottish football. I don't know what your thoughts are, Gemma. I think we're quite unanimous on this. In that, it's a bit.
I'm not sure. Sean and his dad are pretty much in favour of it. I heard.
No, I'm not. No.
They can watch Saints be Rangers B and support both sides.
You're a shambles. don't lie. You've been doing the Colt games for Celtic every week, mate.
Oh yeah.
You'd be going to be party in the fourth end. You'd stand in the Celtic end.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But no, we don't want to be one of the countries where it's kind of a two. Well, I mean, we're already kind of a two. Oh, Jesus, nearly 2-0. But anyway, yeah, we're kind of run, but we're already run by two clubs anyway. But yeah, don't really want it to be going that far, I suppose. Yeah, so that's the recent reconstruction plans. Looks like both of them could be dead in the water.
Yeah, insert the Wagner down from the St. Jonathan fan. To end the segment.
down.
All right, we'll see you in court, boys. Because this week, the bottom team in the top tier of the Belgian Football League, it was deemed illegal for them to be relegated, and I cannot wait for that verdict to hit Scotland because we are not going down.
Well,
good thing we're not an EU.
You heard it here first. You heard
Good
it
thing
here
we're not an EU
first.
law anymore, boys. No more EU laws. We'll make our own laws.
Sporting law.
You get what you voted for, Cammy, now. Biting you in the arse, that Brexit vote.
Do not bring politics into this, you big fence sitter. Away you go.
Well,
I mean, we all agree that the Colt team is just a load of absolute rubbish.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
The fact that Anne Budgie's 14 never got voted through, there is not a chance in hell that one gets voted through.
No, I agree.
Mind you,
I totally agree.
unless Rangers and Celtic do under the table friendly games and a bit of cash money for the League Two
Loan
series.
players.
The new Rangers can't afford to do that anymore. Not anymore. They used to. Not anymore.
Well, you say that. They've
And
made a couple of
double
signings recently.
Aye, well,
dubious ones.
that one the day, questionable.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I don't know who he was, to
Calvin
be honest.
Bassey from
They signed somebody to do.
Yeah,
Leicester
signed a left
defender.
back guy.
from
I
Leicester.
put him in my
Calvin
team as well.
Bassey is his name.
Is it on loan or permanent? I've not seen it.
Contract.
4-year deal we got.
Must be
Wow,
decent then.
interesting, yeah.
But mind you, Rangers' experience with defenders has been very dubious in the
Questionable at
past.
best, I would say.
I think Andy Halliday and John
You
Flanagan.
see Connor Goldson's getting linked to a move away.
Comedy
Who's that?
Goldson.
Connor Goldson, right?
Hey, he's huge. I've seen one in person before and it out-towers me and I'm 6'3", so I certainly
The
wouldn't.
big boy.
Whoa.
But anyway.
But anyway, guys, once we're moving from that, we've heard some recent plans in terms of the new season that will come ahead, the 2021 season. The plans have been made. Premiership clubs will return to training this coming Thursday, the 11th of June, with a view to returning to Premiership football on August the 1st. Obviously, that's all things being fine and well and approved by the government and health authorities and whatnot. And we're thinking from the lower leagues, based on what I've heard from certainly Fourth Athletic statement that was got out a couple of days ago, as I referred to.
Was it written in crayons?
Maybe.
Back in that
Was that in crayons? That's all they can afford. They were from McDonald's.
The lower league.
They use the McDonald's Wi-Fi to type it.
Both of them up in arms about McDonald's.
The lower leagues will
That's why the statement has come out this week, because McDonald's is open back up.
Very good.
It's a week to upload.
Right, enough.
That's getting
Right,
cut.
so the lower league sides outside of the Premiership will return to training potentially in August, while the Premiership is underway, with potentially looking to restart in October. But that will be subject to, as I say, government and football authorities. Yeah, it's an interesting one. There's a lot of things that have happened with Premiership clubs, a lot of movement as well, and certainly not a lot of players in the book. So that'll be interesting to see how that begins on Thursday. Okay.
Is anybody going to talk about the
Go
transfer?
in there.
Why you gonna ask one of them?
But yeah, a lot of things, a lot of players that will be turning over within the clubs. Not a lot of players that could be contracted. Certainly, we'll go into that in a sec. To certain clubs, but anyway, yeah. So exciting times. Teams back to training, but certainly it's a long way to go in the process. You would all agree.
Yeah,
I'll be interested to see, because you've already seen, what was it, Dunfermline released 16, 17 players or something.
That's mental, yeah.
The turnover of players, I think, is going to be a bit scary. I understand why they're doing it though.
Yeah.
And I think for once the power is actually in the club's hands instead of the players' hands for once. It'll be completely.
It'll be interesting though. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the whole, because there's surely legislation and stuff like that on a player's side of it. You know what I mean? If not, I don't know. Surely there's some sort of KFA under the SFA. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. There'll be something built into the SFA anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of that. But I feel sorry for the players. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, if you're out of contract, you're out of contract, though.
I know, but then at the same time, as if you wonder, take the Dunfermline example. I wonder, given COVID didn't hit and it didn't have as much as an impact, unfortunately, as it has, do the players then get a contract renewal rather than being released? Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Is that it'll be an interesting one. But I reckon what might happen is that you might see players that get released. I think there might be some sort of like trickle down where if Premiership clubs, I know a lot of them will be on longer contracts, but like releases from there, maybe they'll drop down into the Championship, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it might be a good thing because the standard of football might be a bit higher in the Championship and maybe like League One and have a knock-on effect. But I think from a player's point of view, you have to feel hard done by.
I mean, Hearts will bring that standard up a bit in the Championship, I think.
Nobody won't, mate. We'll be playing all the young boys.
True.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think when you get a definite date for starting up again, I think you'll see a lot of clubs taking players back on at that point. I think that's when they'll start doing that. There was a big argument from, I think it was Richard Foster 2 weeks ago about can clubs keep players on the job retention scheme and extend their contracts. I think Raith Rovers did it, but there's arguments for and against that. I personally wouldn't be for that because what the clubs have said is they're going to keep them on the job retention scheme and then release them at the end of the.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
But that's not what the scheme's for, to be honest. It's for people so they can retain their jobs after things are back.
Exactly.
No,
that's the annoying thing about it is that's going against the system and to be honest, it's no right.
I read yesterday though that the furlough scheme and everything like that, especially for the lower league clubs, that's going to come to an end really soon.
Yeah,
so
it'll be less percentage, won't it? Like 60% only, not 80%, I think.
By October, you're going to have to pay 27% of staff wages opposed to the
but
none
you
at
remember,
the moment.
so with Saints, we're paying the 8% from the government. We're like paying the rest ourselves. Say you got a player on $1.50 a week, so $6,000 a month. It's a lot still of money the club are putting into the wage. So for us,
like
if we put players on, it'd be a fortune as well. So see from both angles as well. It's quite important.
It'll be interesting to see which clubs have money and which clubs don't. I reckon there's going to be a lot of clubs maybe suffer, I think.
The problem the Premier League clubs have got, and obviously when the committee said when the clubs go back to training, they have to be taken off the furlough scheme, which is correct. That's exactly what should happen. However, the testing costs for getting up and going again, there's going to be a strict testing policy, and it's going to cost the clubs a certain amount of money every week to get all the tests. That's
$4,000 a week, they reckon. $4.5K.
I was hearing more than that, actually. Yeah.
$4,000. I think I had $2 to $4,000 is what I was hearing, but that's a lot of money for all clubs. Think of Hamilton, Livingston, St Johnstone, etc., etc.
Depends who funds it though. Say that the person who's investing funds it, then.
But the Premier League clubs should see none of that money. There is absolutely no chance in hell the Premier League clubs should see any of that money, because you're getting a Sky deal. You're getting there's so much more money in that alone that you'd rather keep the lower 3 tiers than why are you giving because I've seen something that every club would get, I don't know if it's right, but 100,000 or something like that. Why are you giving Celtic and Rangers that? Celtic and Rangers didn't need that. Hearts maybe, but
Hamilton do.
Yeah, it's mainly the lower leagues. Yeah, absolutely.
I think I get a funny feeling that money's come in to mothball the season for the lower leagues.
Yeah,
for the next season, and that's just
money.
I don't see the point in a Premier League club. To be fair, you're maybe League One level, fourth for Athletic, things like that. You can't run it as much. There's no real business model for that club. It's a local club. You can only get X number of people through the door for do you know what I mean? Whereas your Hamiltons, your Kellys, things like that, they're bigger clubs. They should have a business model and following it and having continuous. I know obviously just now it's difficult because nobody can go anywhere, etc. But they should have a structured business model without living month to month, which you'd expect at a lower league.
I think a lot of these clubs do, to be honest. Not much in reserve. I think Hamilton especially sort of live.
Aye, but that's what I'm saying is can you leave themselves short because
they live off the old firm game basically. When they come to town, that's what they live off, these ticket sales.
Yeah. And it's just that way is that if you've left yourself short like a Hamilton where you haven't got much in the bank and you've really stretched your budget, that's your problem because you've made that.
I agree.
So I don't feel any of that money should be going to Premiership clubs, because if you look at the stark contrast, Patty, what did you say that Forfar got for the getting like the leagues finishing off the SFA and things like that?
It was something like
£4,000
grand?
maybe. Something like
yeah, it was £4,000 or something. Yeah,
and then
then
compare that to like what did Saints get for finishing sixth?
No, I couldn't tell you.
I bet.
Like
Few
you're
hundred
probably
grand?
talking at least a couple of 100,000.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. Oh yeah, more than that. but
probably
yeah.
more than that. Do you know what I mean? So how can you justify giving every club 100k when they've already had that payout? Like,
No, it should be means tested. I totally agree. The ones that
so
will get access to it.
it's a difficult one, but then at the same time, I feel bad for the clubs having to pay for the coronavirus stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's the SFA that are really wanting to get the ball. I understand that the football clubs will want it, but it's the SFA that have agreed the Sky deal. So the pressure's coming from Sky onto the SFA and then going on to the clubs to then have the facilities and things like that. And then if you're looking at, I've seen that thing on the news with Hamilton and things like that, but like you're expecting these clubs, you're already tight for money, to then spend 4k a week. Like
They're
not going to get that
they would
back.
need funding. There's no chance Hamilton can afford $4,000 a week to play a game.
But
No
then the
chance.
fans. And the thing is, even with these
No,
virtual
no
season
fans.
tickets, like it's okay for a club like Hearts, Hibs, Motherwell, things like that. Like you've got a good few thousand. Like Hearts, you're talking 15,000, 17,000. Maybe not that high if it's virtual, but do you know what I mean? Like you've got a loyal fan base. Hamilton, I couldn't even tell you. Like their stadium's dubious at best. It's awful. So, like, do you know what I mean? I just feel that if the Premiership clubs have run themselves dry, they've made the mistake, and I think they should kind of just be left to get on with it because at the end of the day, they're a Premiership club. So you'd kind of expect the business behind the club to be a hell of a lot better if they're really
If
struggling.
you've got money in the bank, you're fine. Like Saints have money in reserve. A lot of clubs do, but a lot of clubs don't as well. That's the ones that will be struggling. The ones that haven't sort of planned for a rainy day, sort of, so to speak.
Exactly. I'm just raging that we've brought this guy to the table and we're still not keeping our status, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Right. Are we all set for our teams? I just can't wait to get on to it.
Right. If we must, we'll come back. We'll come back to the players and stuff later on because there's a couple of high-profile players that are out of contract, and we want to see like where they all end up, what we think about them. All this
As
kind
one
of
of
stuff.
them Craig Gordon, can we not talk about them? That's a sensitive point.
We've got to talk about that one. Come on.
The new St Mirren keeper.
The new St Mirren keeper.
Aye,
Come on to
he'll
that.
be in exchange, right? If the old St Mirren keeper that's left comes to us, that's fine. I'll have him all day long.
Yeah.
He's class.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Marion Kell.
Is that a compliment?
Mate, Marion Kell was one of the best keepers outside the Old Firm ever to be in the
not
league.
only familiar with him, I won't lie to you, but I'll take your word on that one.
He was solid. I didn't watch him that much, but I remember him being like...
You love, who's that guy that looks like the Rock King out of Fantastic Four? Alan Manis. How you rate him so highly?
He was very solid.
He looks like the boy. He looks like the Rock guy out of Fantastic Four.
I've never seen that.
Sake.
Oh, God. Right, anyway, moving on. Jesus.
Right,